Hello, fifth grade students. It's Mrs. Belatash, and I hope you had fun with that engineering project about learning how to make the best Play-Doh. So a process, the way you do something, is really important, right? The best way to make sure that there's no grains in the Play-Doh is to dissolve the salt first. And if there's too much salt, you can maybe take a teaspoon away before you put it into the water to dissolve. And if you need to, add a spoon of flour to make sure that it's not too sticky. So the quantities, but also the order, the system that you make something is a really important part of the process. I have 2 glasses of water, and they each have the same amount or the same volume of water. And I have 2 5-gram pieces. And I'm going to drop these gram pieces into the water, and we're going to see what happens. This one is floating, and this one is sinking. They're the same mass. They're both 5 grams. They're both made out of the same material. Why does this one float and this one sink? Think about it for a minute. Talk about it with your classmates. Well, there's something different about the water. Yes, they're both water, but this one has salt dissolved in the water. And as a result, it's denser. There's more stuff inside that volume of water than there is in this volume of water. When an object sinks to the bottom, that is because it is more dense than the liquid that it's in. When an object floats, it's because it is less dense than the object or the liquid that it's in. So let's take a look at this. Here is the water and the green 5-gram piece. Is the green 5-gram piece more dense, less dense, or the same density as the water? It is less dense. Here is the 5-gram piece in this water. Is the 5-gram piece more dense, less dense, or the same density as the water? It is more dense. So today I have a mystery for you, and I need you guys to work together in teams to solve the mystery. Okay, this is your challenge. I have 4 colored liquids, and each one of them has a different amount or concentration of salt dissolved in the water. As a result, there's a different density for each one of these liquids. Using the procedure I'm going to show you in just a minute, I want you to tell me which of these liquids is the densest and which is the least dense. You're going to use this form to record your information. And it's probably going to be a process, a way of figuring out which one is denser. You're probably not going to be able to test all 4 of them at each time. You might want to do tests 2 at a time to find out if one is denser or one is less dense. These are the materials you'll need for your challenge. So first of all, you're going to have this little holder and a straw, and you're going to put the straw on the holder. Then you're going to have 4 different colored waters, and each colored water is a different density. You're also going to get a little cup like this. And then you're going to choose one color to put at the bottom, and you're going to test it against each one. I'm going to start with blue. I'm going to try some blue. I take a small amount, and it's easier if you tip it just a little bit. And you tip the straw, and you put a few drops of colored water in. All right, so I put in blue. Make sure to put the blue pipette back in the blue water. Now I'm just gonna test red. I take a few drops of red. I tip it a little bit to the side, and then I put it on top. I'm not gonna show you what the result is because you need to do that yourself. Now, after a while, then you need to empty the straw. What you do is you just pull the straw up, and some of the liquid then empties into the little well here, but you could also pour that into the cup. Make sure that your straw is empty before you put it back on the stand. Now, I'm going to do it for the people who are at home, and then you're going to record the results that I find. The first one I'm going to test is I'm going to test blue and red. I'm going to put blue in first. There's my blue. And now I'm going to try red on top. Okay, so in this one, it shows that blue is on the bottom and red is floating on top. So let's record that on our sheet. So our first test, blue was on the bottom, red was on the top. Let's continue. The next test, I want to do blue and green. This one is hard to tell, but there's the blue is on the bottom and the green is on the top. I can see two different colors. The green is on top of the blue. Let's record that information. And here we go. We've got blue on the bottom and green on the top. Now let's look at blue and yellow. There's blue. And the yellow is floating on top of the blue. Make sure to record on your sheet that the yellow is on top of the blue. Okay, now I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to put green on the bottom. There's my green. And I'm going to start with the red. I'm going to try putting red on top of green. So green is sinking to the bottom and red is floating on top. Let's record that information. All right, now I want to try green with yellow on top. Here's my green. Now here comes the yellow. I don't see any yellow floating on top. So I'm not sure about the result of this one. In order to test what happened here, I think I should reverse the order. Instead of trying green first and then yellow, I think I should try yellow and then green. I just put in the yellow. Now I'm going to try the green. The green is floating on top. So I've got the yellow, which is heavier or denser than the green. Okay, so now I need to compare the red. So I compared red to blue here, and red floated. I compared red to green here, and red was on top, it was floating. I need to compare red to yellow. I'm going to put yellow on the bottom, and then I'm going to put red on top. And red is floating on top. All right, let's look at our data and see if we need to do any more tests. So we tested the blue. The blue was denser than red, denser than green, denser than yellow. So I think that the blue should be on the bottom. I'm going to put blue on the bottom. Now, what color should be on top of blue? Well, let's see. All of these colors floated on top of the blue. Which one should I test now? Should I test the green or the yellow or the red? Well, here it shows the green with the red on top. And then here it says yellow with green on top and yellow with red on top. So I think I should test the yellow next. Okay, the blue and then the yellow. And the reason the yellow is floating on top of the blue is because the blue is denser, thicker, and the yellow is less dense, lighter. Okay, what color should we test now? Well, here it shows that the red floats on top of the green. Let's try green next. Okay, so we've got blue, yellow, and green. And that just leaves one color left, and I hope that the red floats on top. And it does. So the correct order for the density column is blue, yellow, green, and red. So this is the final correct layering. Now let's answer the questions. Which solution is most dense? So the densest one is going to be the one on the bottom. So which solution is on the bottom? Blue. So which is least dense? Well, that's going to be the one that's floating on top. So it is red. And then we can put the other two colors in as well, yellow and green. I hope you guys enjoyed solving this mystery, solving the problem of which liquid was the most dense and which was the least dense. All right, I will see you next week, Cougars.